And the reaction. Why Namor is as strong as the Hulk explained. Wakanda forever. Let's take a look. See what it's all about and check it out.
Namor the Submariner is not only the next in line to make his cinematic debut in the MCU, but is also one of the very first characters published by Marvel Comics, and thus has one of the longest tenures of any modern comic book character. While the source material has been altered to make way for a new age depiction, one recent claim seems to put his true power set into question. Recently, director Ryan Coogler alleged that his depiction of Namor is on par with the likes of Thor and even the Hulk in terms of physical strength, indicating that he just might be one of the most physically formidable antagonists within the last several years in the MCU. So, stick with us today, watchers of the Marvel Multiverse, and let's cover some of Namor's most notable feats of strength, assess the true capabilities of his physicality, and assess this claim made by the director. First, let's cover some of the most notable feats of durability. As we know, his acclimation to the depths of the ocean have made him incredibly resilient to most forms of harm. Having survived the deepest corners of the unknown, he has adapted to survive handily within the immense pressures of the ocean depths, and this has translated to some incredibly impressive feats of resilience. He was able to take blows from the Sentry, who is said to be one of the most powerful Earthbound heroes in all of Marvel Comics, who has yet to make his debut in the MCU. While he is not the single strongest individual, he is an Omega-level threat fueled by the power of the sun itself, and he is able to produce strikes that are on par with some of the strongest heroes that Earth has to offer. The Sentry's alter ego, otherwise known as the Void, who has torn limbs from the Hulk himself, as well as the Sentry, ripping Ares, the War God, in half. If Namor is able to take strikes from this individual relatively handily, then it stands to reason that he could very well take blows from other notable powerhouses who are estimated to be on par with the Sentry, two of whom being Thor and the Hulk. But while his ability to take a hit is truly remarkable, what about his ability to produce strikes? In the comics, he has fought and beaten both the likes of Ben Grimm as well as Luke Cage, showing a level of strength that can handle these two incredibly formidable foes. Cage alone has been seen taking a ton of blows and can lift upwards of 50 tons. Yet Namor was able to overpower Harlem's Defender. We have also seen him come across both Hercules and Wolverine in the comics, the latter of which Namor was able to incapacitate with one single blow. During his fight with Hercules, however, he was able to stagger and disorient the Greek god within just a few seconds, even causing the son of Zeus to bleed. While we have not yet seen Hercules in action in the MCU, the post-credit scene of Thor Love and Thunder seems to set him up as a direct threat to Thor as he exists in his current state. Keep in mind the version of Thor that this version of Hercules is set to fight against is empowered by not only Stormbreaker, but the Odin Force as well, and is currently one of the most powerful on-screen iterations that we've seen in the MCU. If Namor is able to deal damage to Hercules, then it stands to reason that he'd be able to harm Thor as well, once again adding support to Coogler's claim. He has also made the likes of Icarus and even Thanos himself, the Mad Titan, bleed with relative ease. Namor showing that he has the physical striking power to contend with some of the greatest. On one particular occasion, he did in fact fight the Hulk, but there are a few details of interest about this encounter that are important to note. First, the battle between Namor and Hulk took place within the water where Namor is at his strongest, and he was able to use his home domain in order to gain an advantage over the Hulk. He used a combination of his own brute strength as well as other powers that extend beyond his physicality. While this doesn't necessarily indicate that his physical strength is on par with that of the Hulk, it does mean that in his home domain, he might pose a threat to the Jade Giant under the right circumstances. This leads us to another detail regarding Ryan Coogler's statement, however, as he specifies that he can stand up to the Hulk if he is in water long enough, showcasing that on land, the Hulk would still most likely come out on top. Without the Hulk's savage personality, however, it stands to reason that Bruce Banner's inherent pacifism and desire not to fight would hinder his ability to combat Namor. And as they exist in the MCU at their current moment, then Bruce Banner might very likely be in trouble should he ever encounter Namor under less than friendly circumstances. One particular advantage that Namor has over several other characters, however, is his innate flexibility as well as speed. Even on land, in the water, he can swim fast enough to create whirlpools strong enough to disorient even the Hulk. And on land, he can fly on par with the likes of the Human Torch. It's important to mention that we're not simply talking about flying alongside Johnny Storm, but he is actively caught up to the Human Torch while the two were in conflict with one another. All of this is without taking into account his equipment and paraphernalia, including Atlantean armor as well as weaponry. In the MCU, we know that Atlantis will actually be adapted into a city known as Talocan, and several of these artifacts will be reimagined and redesigned in accordance with his new landscape. But it's not unreasonable to believe that many of their attributes and abilities will be carried over in some capacity from the comics. In the comics, his trident has often been seen with several energy harnessing capabilities, though we have yet to see if this particular detail will make its way to the MCU. From creating tidal waves that can engulf New York City to summoning the most daunting creatures of the depths, the true extent of Namor's ability make him one of the most fearsome threats in the MCU as of now, and it's only a matter of time before we see what his on-screen counterpart is truly capable of. Whether or not he contends with the likes of Thor and the Hulk, as Coogler claims, can only be speculated as of now. But based on his comic book counterpart, it's a logical claim with a basis in the original source material. And as Ryan Coogler said, he is as powerful as Thor when he is not in water, but when he is fighting in water, in his own element, he can grow to be as strong as the Hulk. Ryan Coogler also confirmed that Namor is also around 500 years old when we encounter him in Wakanda Forever. Meaning, not only is he incredibly powerful, far more powerful than many are ready, but he is also highly experienced. But anyway, my friends, what do you think of this claim? Do you think that Coogler is correct about Namor being able to stand up to Thor and the Hulk? And if so, what do you think we may see from him in Wakanda Forever to support this claim? As always, my friends, thank you guys so much for watching and continuing to support the channel. Hit that subscribe button to assemble and join our team, and have a great day.
But yeah guys, please subscribe, like this video, thanks for watching, and see you guys, bye.